Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60andMe. Thanks for being here. I do hope that you're doing great today, wherever you are in the world. I'm just so grateful for all of you. Hope that you're doing something fun for yourself today. This is the Have Fun Day today, because we're going to talk about something that is going to help to get some things in perspective. And I want to remind you that when we started 60andMe, we thought about three things that we thought women cared about in their 50s and 60s and beyond. That was well-being, health and well-being, financial security, and independence. And independence means travel and retirement and all the things that we do with our lives in our 50s, 60s, and 70s and beyond. So I want to remind you that because we're going to talk about one of the topics today, which is one we don't talk about so often, but is absolutely critical. Now, my tea today is from my happiness box. And it says here something like, I can read with my glasses, something like embrace the morning dew on your feet and be mindful throughout the day. And mindful is not just meditating. Mindful is when you're drinking a cup of tea, you sit there and you drink it. One sip, enjoy the taste, enjoy the smell. That's mindful. And that to me becomes meditation because you can apply it anywhere in your life. It's kind of applied meditation. But my tea this morning is my happiness tea. It's a spice tea. They're all really good. I mean, I've never met a tea that I didn't love. So I find that all have ingredients and, just sort of a character that is helpful. So here's my tea for the day. So cheers to you. Now, we have a lot of stuff going on at 60andMe right now. I want to take 1 minute to just tell you what's going on that might be of interest to you, because we are always developing new content, new ideas, and want to remind you that we have got some things for you to consider taking a look at every day. Now, we've got our website, of course, 60andme.com. We have about 6 new articles every day. They're on topics across that spectrum. We have a games section on there. At the top it says games, and if you click there, you can play anything from strategy to word games, all kinds of fun games. At no charge, it's totally free. So a lot of people are using that, but I wanted to call that to your attention. Also, we've just put all of our yoga videos up on YouTube, free of charge. So gentle yoga, chair yoga, and the flows yoga. You can just go up to 60andMe, YouTube 60andMe, and it's all there for you free. If you want to buy the DVD, you can, but that's all completely for you to access every day, and it's really, really cool. The other thing I want to remind you about is our cards. Now, these are inspirational cards, Aging Beautifully, which has nothing to do with, the actual how you look. It's how you feel and the energy you have. The cards are beautifully illustrated, and they've got little messages on the back to support your journey and to give you ideas. So that's Aging Beautifully deck of cards. You can find that up on the website as well. So there's lots of things for you to consider. I want to make sure that I just let you know what's here, because we're not just YouTube. We're not just the videos that I do. We are also all over. We've got Twitter, Facebook. I have an Instagram account for She Cruises. And we have these sister sites that I think now you know about. She Cruises is for cruising. Retire Different is for retiring differently. And then finally, Life After Death is one for spiritual questions and answers and discussions. So those are all sister sites of 60andMe. If you're interested, we can give you more detail. But the topic today applies to the one in the middle, Retire Different. Because a lot of you are thinking about retiring in your 50s and then facing it in your 60s. And this is a topic that we cover on Retire Different, but I wanted to mention it also because we have an article on our 60andMe website, which is about how to feel safe financially in your retirement. And I interviewed a gentleman, Alan Roth, some time ago, and he is an amazing person. He has a site called Wealth Logic, and he has practical strategies for how to save and invest, and just an amazing view about our attitude to money in our 60s. And I think it's really important. So stay with me here, because you may be thinking, oh, I don't want to talk about money. It's just not, I can't deal with it. And I'm in a way a bit like that, because like many of you, I went through my own challenges with financial issues and came through it, but simply by working hard and applying strategies, that some of them that Alan mentions. But just to give you some food for thought here, the first thing that he mentions, which I think is quite interesting, is the fact that we've got to kind of in our retirement stop about fighting this urge to create income. Now, I know for people who haven't got a lot of money, creating income is kind of a survival mechanism. But for most of us, it's something that we can say, okay, I've done my years of accumulating, of really trying to earn money and make myself successful. After decades of earnings and savings, we now need to look at what happens when the paycheck ceases. What happens when it ends? Because when it doesn't go your way, or it's not, there's not as much money as you thought there would be, that can be super challenging. His advice, and we talk a lot about this on Retire Different, so I encourage you to go over retiredifferent.com and check out the articles there. But just as a summary, one thing we do tend to do a lot of is try to figure out where to invest or where to save money. And Alan's advice is, just another one point of view, which is to create something a little bit boring. You don't have to chase every wonderful next great opportunity. It's better to find, stocks and bonds that are more stable. And I guess maybe this is a point for conversation, is whether to be more conservative, just a little bit more conservative in the ways that we spend our money. Now, there are many things you can do now in retirement to earn money, to make income. And we've written about that in Retire Different. For example, renting your property on Airbnb or starting your own business. I mean, there are certainly things that you can do. But if you're thinking about, the income versus savings, you might want to have a little slightly more conservative view, because staying the course is the game. Jumping around and trying new things all the time is really going to be hard for you. Another thing that Alan and I talked about, which I think is really, really powerful, and I've also talked to Pam Kruger about this on Retire Different, which is, it's emotional. Money is not just a black and white thing or a green and whatever thing. It's actually emotional. And, when you try to outguess the market, buy high and selling low and trying all these, or is it selling high? I don't know. But the point is, that if you stay with it over time, it's going to be okay. And the emotion that I'm talking about here is that you realize that, okay, this is the dichotomy. You've got a finite amount of money. You may still have a bit of an income from a pension or your Social Security, but you know in your head that you've got to save that. You're going to live to be 80, 90 years old, and you need some money to live in retirement. But then the other little 65-year-old person is saying, oh, but I really want to go on that cruise. I really want to go on that trip. I really want to buy that thing for my grandson or my granddaughter. And it's really hard because, whatever, I'm going to spend the money, enjoy it. But no, stay with it, stay saving, stay balanced, stay unemotional if you can, because it's really challenging to find that that the balance between those two desires, to save and to spend. Also, Alan and I talked about the whole idea about the financial industry, and he agrees with Pam on this, that we don't want to buy into the financial industry sales products. You don't need to buy any more products in your 50s and 60s and 70s. You, in his opinion, and this is you welcome your thoughts on this, is about avoiding financial advisors whose job it is to sell you stuff. And they work for a living. They get paid by the number of things they sell to you. The fiduciary advisors like Alan and others, they actually have a strategy or a philosophy that they are here to help you. That's part of their code of conduct, that they're here to keep your best interests at heart. And so I think that's another cool thing. And those kinds of people will give you advice like, do you want to delay getting your Social Security because you'll get a little bit, well, not a little bit, you'll get a lot more if you can wait until you're 70. Don't take it out when you can at 62 or wherever you're allowed to in your country. But, basically look for people that will give you advice based on your best interest, not on their pocketbook. Everybody's going to make money and they will charge you, of course, by the hour, but it's not like this. It's not the same. So finally, get informed. take advantage of retiredifferent.com, advantage of here on 60andMe. We often put articles up on this type of conversation. He suggested a couple of books, Can I Retire by Mike Piper, and then AARP, of course, Next Avenue. Those are good sites for topics around financial security and aging. And also, of course, Pam Kruger, who we work with on Retire Different. She's a great person. She has something called, she works on PBS Money Track and so many resources that you can leverage. But listen to them. Go and listen and take notes and ask questions. And if you've got any questions here, please let me know if you have any topics that you would like us to write about. We'd be happy to do that, because financial security, and we know that health and well-being is super important, but you've got to have the money to enjoy your life in retirement. You've earned it. So don't be frivolous. Now, downsizing, simplification, those are all topics for another day. But right now, today, I just wanted to share with you that little chat with Alan and remind you that, just taking the slow road, the more conservative road, staying in it for the long term, stopping the panic about income versus savings, and just enjoy your life in retirement. So, tell me, have you actually, do you think you're fairly well equipped with understanding the terms in financial services? I mean, do you have any magazines you subscribe to or programs that you watch? Please share with us so that we can get an idea of what you're interested in as it becomes as it relates to financial services and financial security in your 60s. We're happy to help. Okay, everybody, well, go out and have a wonderful day, and take very good care of yourself and your family and your friends. Love each other. Be close. We need each other here. Check us out on Patreon if you want to join our more exclusive community. We've got some great people there, but patreon.com. But just have a wonderful day and know that I really appreciate you. Okay, take good care. Bye-bye for now.